stressed that your house is not getting sold. These are the reasons why your house is not getting sold in current market in Canada. Now remember that those days are gone when it was COVID. People were losing their loved ones and they wanted to get rid of the house they lost someone in, and they wanted to buy a new house. The interest rates were lower. There were so many buyers in the market. They were buying high prices houses, and houses were getting sold so fast. Those times are gone. Get out of trance now. Now come to reality. What is on the grounds? There are not many immigrants coming to Canada anymore now. So we have to understand this fact and think logically and pay attention to what the ground realities are. Why your house is not getting sold. Number one reason. Your house is not getting sold because you priced it too high. Yes. Now some people, I know that those people bought their house 2 years ago, 3 years ago, they bought it very high. Because at that time, the house prices were generally high. The interest rates were low. There were high number of buyers. There were multiple offers. People would like to pay more for the house. And now the prices, if you look at the stats coming out of real estate, the prices are not down. They are not high either. They are staying consistent and they are a little bit lesser than before. Someone who bought their house at $1,125,000 and somebody told them at that time that by this house the house price doubles in 10 years. Yes, it is true if you look at the stats from 1975, but this is not always true. So those people who bought that house at $1.125 million, they want to sell it at $1,300,000 or $400,000. It's not the case. You have to price your house at fair price, which is a market price. You cannot sell your house at 1.3 million when the price of the house in the market is 1.1 million. If some realtor tells you that I will buy your house if I couldn't sell it at 1.3 million dollars, yes, ask that realtor to sign a contract with you, an agreement with you. If the house doesn't get sold at that price, then he's gonna pay 1.3 million dollars and buy the house, right? So you have to price your house according to the market. If you're going to take loss, yeah, you are going to take loss. If you're selling your house and you want to sell your house, you might have to sell your house at lower price at a loss sometimes. I know I don't feel good saying that, but the situation is what the situation is, right? So understand this. Number two reason is that your house is not getting sold because the open house is done by you or by a realtor did not do the good job. The thing is that I take my buyers to different houses. When I do have an agreement with them, I every day, especially on Saturdays and Sundays, I make appointments with certain properties, like 3 to 4 properties. I take my buyers there. Their time is limited, my time is limited. Now we drive around and we see open house boards. Yeah, sure, my buyers, if they want to see it, I'll take them there. But the number one thing is that there is no address of the property on open house signboard. So we cannot find the property on Google Map. And if I follow those directions on the board, most of the time, I don't find the property. We don't find the property. We just drive around the circle. Well, days sometimes are windy. There's rain going on. The direction of the arrow on the board might be different. Whatever the reason is, we don't have enough time to find that property. If we see the board that is directed to the property and we can get to the property in no time, yeah, sure, we will look at the property. But we are not going to waste our time. I'm not not going to take pain to find that property. And I think that this is true for all the prospective buyers who are driving around. And if they see a board of open house, they might try to find the property. If they find the property, they might look at the property. But if they didn't find the property, they're not going to look at it. If your house been shown to public, if there was open house conducted on it and nobody showed up, that means that the open house job wasn't done well. Okay. Number 3 reason that your house is not getting sold is that the staging is not done properly. Now in my market area, there is a townhouse community. Like there are 100 townhouses, like 80 to 100 townhouses there. But 4 townhouses, they are almost similar. They are in the market. They are listed. Now look at it from the perspective of a buyer. A buyer who wants to buy a townhouse, he goes to this townhouse area. He looks at those 4 townhouses. One of those townhouses is very professionally staged. Okay, it is very appealing. It is taken care of from outside, inside. It is clean from inside and outside. It is well decorated, and there is a lot of appeal in this house. Now, this buyer who wants to buy a townhouse, which one do you think he's going to choose? He's going to choose the one that has the most appeal out of those 4 listed properties, right? So if you have listed your property, your house is not getting sold, and some similar property in your area got sold, then there is something to do with the staging. So pay attention to the staging. Number 4 reason is your house is not getting sold because you priced it too low. Now, a lot of people might not agree with this. The thing is, realtors, they price their house below the market price on purpose when there is a lot of activity in the market. There are a lot of buyers in the market. I know one seller, I know his realtor, they listed the property at a low price, lower than the market price. Now, a lot of buyers visited the property because it was an active market. Now, when the buyers came in, every single buyer looked at the property with very critical eye. They literally asked, what is wrong with this property? Why is this listed so low? Now, the realtor was expecting multiple offers on that property. Unfortunately, they end up getting no offer at all because people thought, even present day, in this present day world, people are still superstitious. You know, sometimes they say that the house is haunted. Whatever the reason is, if the buyer is going to think that there is something wrong with the property, that is why it is priced low, you might not get any offer. So if your property is not getting sold, you better price your property fairly at a market price. Number 5 reason is the right time to sell. Now, I am adding this reason because every time I meet any prospective seller, they ask the question, when is the right time to sell? Just like every other realtor, I would say that the right time to sell is whenever you are ready to sell, whenever you want to sell. You know, selling a house involves a lot of emotion. Selling a house involves a lot of thoughts. So those thoughts can be controlled by you. Those emotions are going to be controlled by you. So this is better. Whenever you want to sell, you sell at that time. Now, having said that, there are factors that decide when is the right time to sell your property. This is true. There are certain factors that make the market most active. If you're a seller, you want most of the buyers in the market at that time. When are there most of the buyers available in the market? When the interest rates are low, there are a lot of buyers in the market. When it is springtime, when it is the time when people can go out easily, especially in Canada, it's snowing most of the time. People don't want to go out a lot. So when there's a summer coming up, when it's springtime, it is the most active market. That's the right time to list your property. Now, when there is election year or there's no election year, people have political beliefs, they have political thoughts, so they make their decisions. It affects their decisions. When is the right time, when is not the right time? These are the factors, some of the factors that interplay. And yes, in the result, it gives you the right time to sell your property or not. You can do your research, come to a conclusion, but remember that you don't control these factors. Nobody controls these factors. So these are the reasons that if your property is not getting sold, one of the reasons could be at play. I hope you fix this reason. And if you want to list your property, I work for Right at Home Realty. We have 6,000 realtors who are working in buyers and sellers. And if you want the most exposure to the most of the people for your listing, for your property, call me and let me tell you how I can help you. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.